speaker is Janet Cassidy from Clydebank Trades Union Council. Janet is also on the General Council of organised TUC and is a RMT activist. So, Janet, thank you very much.
Can I assure you I'm as long as the rest of them? For those that don't know, the RMT covers the railways, shipping, bus drivers, taxi drivers and offshore workers. So it's not just the railways that we cover. The Trades Union Bill has passed its second reading in the House of Commons with a majority of 33, and as Dave pointed out earlier on, it's due for its third reading on Tuesday. This is an attack on our rights as working people. It's been reported that days lost to strike action has fallen by 90% in 2 decades. Sajid David, the Business Secretary, while defending the reforms, has been reported to have said that unions had helped deliver a fairer society by getting higher wages, safer workplaces and stronger employee rights. For the first time, employers will be able to break strikes by bringing in agency workers, and names of people in picket lines have to be given. I've been involved in past strikes where office workers have been trained to cover strikers. Their training was at a very minimum compared to full-timers, and mistakes were made, kicked under the carpet, whereas a full-timer would be disciplined. I'm totally against zero-hour contracts, as I'm sure most, if not all of you are. But ask yourself this question: what happens to those on these contracts? Are they then out of work because there's no vacancies? Now, I know a young woman, 21 years of age, that's on a zero-hour contract. She only gets called in if somebody's off sick or if somebody wants a day off. She's not entitled to brew money unless she hasn't had any money for 3 weeks, which is ridiculous. No one goes to strike lightly, but when MPs award themselves a hefty pay rise, when civil servants are forced to take the minimum, we have to do something. More than 60,000 took part in the march and rally in Manchester, and there's been marches in London and other places. The mayoral candidate was selected by an online ballot, but union members are not allowed to vote online during strike ballots because it's not safe. A case of double standards, if you ask me. The right to strike is a basic right and a last resort for unions to take. And to be honest, my own union are good at calling strike ballots, which you've probably read in the papers. And at the moment, we've got members down south on strike. On top of threats to strike action, the bill also wants to cap the time and resources available to union reps in the public and private sectors to represent their members effectively. Last week, my own union held a seminar for our members, which included the legal perspective from our lawyers, and the STUC perspective was also given. Also at the STUC Women's Conference at the beginning of the week, an emergency motion was passed. And what they asked for, and I've got a copy of the motion here, was to work with the General Council to ensure that the voice of women is included in opposition to the bill, to press the Scottish Government to demand a legislative consent for this to be implemented in Scotland, and to call on all public bodies in Scotland to refuse to comply with the legislation if it's passed. Now, I've got a funny feeling it will be passed, obviously. Trade councils are all doing their bit by holding these meetings, and I'll finish by saying that we need to stand together to stop this bill, which is an attack on our human rights and the right to organise collectively. Thank you.
Thanks, Janet. I know I declare an interest in Clydebank Trades Union Council, but Janet's representing us here, but it's a small group of activists, and we do quite a lot of work, so if anyone's getting involved in the Trades Council, you can let Janet or myself know, or George who's sitting there. We meet once a month, second Monday of the month, so you're very welcome to get involved if you're a trade unionist or a community activist. So thanks, Janet.